Comcast Cablevision Channel 43 presents high school boys soccer. This afternoon, it's an interdivision matchup in the Tri-County Conference as the Clayton Clippers pay a visit to the Williamstown Braves. And this afternoon's contest is brought to you in part by Proby Chiropractic, 740 Mansfield Pike, Route 45 in Woodbury Heights. Feel good naturally. Call 845-BACK. Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Benkin along with Marc Narducci. Marc, two teams here, each with only one loss, but it's a very intriguing matchup because both of these teams got to their 6-1 and 7-1 records, respectively, in very different ways.
Very much so, Ed. Williamstown has played the much tougher schedule to date, has a very, very big win over Clearview, an excellent team we saw earlier this year on Channel 43, and also with the big stunner over Washington Township in a non-league game. At the time, Township was ranked number 2 in South Jersey. Meanwhile, Clayton has gotten there at 7-1. The schedule has not been demanding. It starts getting much tougher today, especially with Williamstown. Then they take on Shalleck on Monday.
This really is a true test for Clayton. As Marc mentioned, Shalleck coming up on Monday, the only team to beat Williamstown. The Clippers still coming in at 7-1, an impressive start to the season. Marc, this season's success for Clayton starts in the nets with their senior leadership.
Well, Tony Falcone's been outstanding this year. He's got 7 shutouts already in goal, and they've only played 8 games. So you're right, Ed. He gives them the senior leadership. He comes off his line very well. He's aggressive, and they're going to need that kind of a player against the Williamstown team that figures to put a lot of pressure on the keeper.
The Braves are 6-1 on the season. They've had some impressive victories this year, as Marc mentioned, over Clearview and Washington Township. The man who scored the game winner against Washington Township, Jerron Putman, leads a very experienced squad that's already making a lot of noise.
No doubt about it. I mean, Jerron Putman is, I think, one of the more skilled players that you'll see, ball skills in South Jersey. Eddie already has 8 goals this season. As we mentioned, the big one against Washington Township on about a 30-yard direct kick. So he's got all the skills. He's a very good distributor. So Clayton's certainly going to have its hands full marking him.
Well, Williamstown looks to remain in the top 10, while Clayton looks to make a serious statement in the Tri-County Conference. Clayton taking on Williamstown coming up next on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Welcome back to Williamstown. Ed Benkin here with Marc Narducci on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Williamstown and Clayton just about set to go on boys soccer. We want to correct ourselves. We originally were given a 7-1 record for Clayton. The Clippers are 8-1, and Williamstown coming in at 6-1. But Marc, the Braves ranked in the top 10 in South Jersey for the first time.
Ed, the other thing is, you can't forget these Clayton wins. I mean, it was not that long ago where the team didn't even have enough people to field a team. And what Coach Antonelli has done has just been unbelievable with this group.
Yeah, Antonelli certainly knows what it takes to build a successful program, and he's certainly done that here. And I think a big reason for that is just making these kids believe, and that's what we've seen out of this Clayton squad throughout much of the season. The Clippers in the dark jerseys, the navy blue with the yellow numbers and the high dark socks. Williamstown in the home blue, the lighter blue, sort of a royal blue with the white letters and numbers, and the white socks. Our officials today, Dennis Chang and John Humes. It's pretty much a cool, comfortable day here. Fall conditions, temperatures in the low 60s. We are underway as the Clippers try to work from right to left, but Williamstown intercepts as Ben Pierce is able to knock it away and send it back to midfield.
And the interesting thing is going to be from a Clayton perspective is, and we talked to Coach Antonelli about this, if they can ward off the first 10 to 15 minutes, because Williamstown's flying high and is really going to want to come after them. So composure in the early going is going to be very key for the Clippers.
Now Shelson trying to work it around at center. He has it knocked away on a fine play by Evan Small. Now it's sent over to the near side as Powell will race after it for Williamstown.
If you go by common opponents, Williamstown beat Clearview by a 4-2 score, and Clearview beat this Clayton team, the only team that beat them 4-0. So, when you look at all that, you say, yeah, Williamstown's the favorite, but Clayton's playing well. The problem is a very small Group 1 school, very little depth, and the team's been a little bit banged up too, Ed. So, obviously staying healthy here today is going to be a major factor.
And one thing about that depth, Harry White, the Williamstown coach, mentioned that has been one of the strengths of his team this year, is the amount of depth that this Williamstown team has. A very strong senior Clayton team, but a lot of good players off the bench as well.
That was a great touch by Putman that time, and getting rid of it right away. And we have an offsides right there, Ed. But the key to a great player, sometimes great players like to take people on and beat one, beat two, beat three. But if you can just beat one, get it to your teammate, and go to an open space, and that's what Putman did that last time.
Putman had the game winner in the 1-0 win for Williamstown over Washington Township in a game that apparently, let's say, was in no shortage of words between two schools that play about 15 miles away, as it's sent back now towards Williamstown territory, and Powell will look to work it out, but it's kept in nicely, and a good head ball by D'Annunzio.
Well, Big John Olson's the sweeper for Williamstown, number 9. It's going to be very tough to beat the Braves in the air, and just as we saw in the West Deptford Gateway game in the girls did last week, how it was tough for Gateway to do that against West Deptford. Same thing with Clayton today. Going via the ground route is certainly going to be the best chance.
Zinzio will throw it in, and now it's headed towards the box. It's headed out by the Braves, and trying to kick it away is Mellish. He has it knocked away, and it rolls back to the top. Now here's a shot, our first shot on goal, but it sails high over the net. Good kick that time, as getting it up in the air was Jack King, but he put it just a bit high. Two excellent goalkeepers today. We talked about Tony Falcone for Clayton. Dan Reverso already has 4 shutouts this year for Williamstown. He had 10 last season. Now, once again, it'll be the kick by Reverso, as he'll send it out over to the far side. Braves will try to get it going now, and working it up is Martelletti. Martelletti has it knocked away, now picking up is Shelson. Sent back out by the Williamstown defense. This Braves team defensively as strong as anybody in the Tri-County. Comes over to the far side where Putman will kick it in. There is a slight wind, and it has been dying down, but when we do get the gusts, it seems to be blowing to the back of where the Clippers will be attacking here in the first half.
Great distribute right there by Putman.
Centered in front, the shot just chipped wide. Good chance in front, and the Clippers able to knock it away as Demicali was trying to get a foot on it, but it was sent just wide. So Williamstown with their first good opportunity of the afternoon.
Yeah, and Dan Cliver was right there, or excuse me, Demicali, you're right, was right there to try to get that ball, and unable to.
Demicali, another one of the many seniors on this Williamstown team. Clayton, with a team largely made up of juniors. They do have some seniors in there, including Falcone, their outstanding goalkeeper.
The other thing is the sophomore class is pretty strong. John Verrecchio, number 14, he's been a little banged up, Ed, so we have to see how he's going to move there in the middle of the field. But he's an excellent player. He's a gentleman right there with the ball, taking the throw. He's got tremendous ball skills.
And he's got tremendous skills, not only as a shooter, but a distributor as well, with his 8 goals and 4 assists so far in the season. Braves battle for it as Ben Pierce will send it ahead, and now it's kicked up ahead. Putman will send it back towards Clayton territory. Kicked high into the air by Verrecchio.
See, that's what you don't want to do against Williamstown.
Between their experience and their height, this is a team that averages 6'1" defensively. They will kill you in the air, and as you mentioned, that is something the Clippers do not want to get involved in. Now we are set to go as Verrecchio will kick it ahead. It's intercepted, and now the Braves will look to bring it back up as Small sends it over to the far side. Kick now up, and it's intercepted again by Clayton. The Clippers knock it back in. Just underway here at Williamstown. No score between the Braves and the Clippers of Clayton. Both teams coming in with just 1 loss in the season as Mellish will now pick it up for the Braves and send it up to the far side. And back now, and Pierce will knock it down for the Braves and try to send it forward. Good play as it's knocked away and sent back in towards Williamstown territory. Now looking to rush up with it is Green. Mike Green has it on the far side. His pass is blocked, picks it up again. Green trying to get it across. Mellish able to take him out nicely, and the ball comes loose and is sent away by the Braves over to the far side.
Paul D'Annunzio, number 18 for Clayton, did a great job of not only making the defensive play, but coming up on the attack, and that really is a big boost for Clayton. You know, when you can get those guys pushing up and really helping out. And D'Annunzio has some pretty good size. We talked about Clayton having a tough time in the air, but D'Annunzio is the one guy that can really get up and has some pretty good size for them.
Looks like we'll have our first corner kick of the afternoon as over to get it along the far side is Verrecchio, but D'Annunzio certainly has the height. One of the few players on this Clipper squad that can match up with Williamstown. So here's the corner kick coming from the far side of the field. A low kick, and again, Clayton's strategy, keep it on the ground, but the Braves able to knock it away, and it's sent away up towards center by Evan Small.
Ed, I think that time may have been a missed kick. I don't think they were trying, but there's an offsides. I don't think they were exactly trying to keep that one on the ground.
At least not to that extent, certainly.
No.
The ball's coming, turn around.
Now it's picked out by reversal. So the Clippers so far getting a couple chances early on, really just one for Williamstown on that deflection that just went wide. And now the Braves look to set up at center.
Braves were a little too bunched up there. Good job there that time by Small. Seeing that, and he switched fields. That's a nice play by him, but a little too many blue shirts in one area. Have to get a little better spacing for the Williamstown team.
Verrecchio, who's going to handle the ball a lot again this afternoon, looking to bring it up to the near side. Drops one back as Patton will try to get it back to Verrecchio, but it's intercepted, read nicely by Ben Pierce, and now it's set up ahead.
I like how Pierce has been coming back and helping out defensively as well as offensively.
Here come the Braves again as Demicali looking to center it across in front, and nobody there for Williamstown. It will go out of bounds, and the Clippers will take over.
And what happened was a sweeper, Bruce McDonald, #1, went to get Demicali, but what Clayton has to do is give some weak side help off that ball because Demicali made that turn. That could have been a very dangerous situation going down that right flank.
Just over 6 minutes gone by here in this first half. No score between Clayton and Williamstown. And now it's sent up ahead. That win we mentioned about earlier, which was really kicking up right before the start of the game this afternoon, has totally died down. So both teams looking for an equal advantage in the air as it's sent up to the far side. That as far as which way the ball is going to be carrying, and now it's sent back outside by King.
Good idea by Scott Beatty, #7 that time, to try to get it out there. And Williamstown, I think, showing some nice composure. Ed, look how it's spreading it out, seeing that they didn't have anything, and then just really using the whole field. Now that kick was kicked wide, Clayton ball, but the idea is what you really like. You know, they've been working that left side so much that they decided to switch fields and use the right and give that different look. That's a great play by Verrecchio there. Nice defensively.
Takes it away and now looks to cut across. Has a little bit of room as he's watched by Cooper. Tried to set it ahead. Still has it. Still has control. And finally, it's taken away on a nice play by Evan Small, but the Clippers keeping it in. And a Pele-style bicycle kick up into the air as it's sent out by Evan Small. Now rolls back to the far side of the field. And now looking to attack on the Clippers is bringing in is Shelson. Shelson couldn't keep it in bounds, and Williamstown will take over.
A lot of times bicycles look good, but they're probably not advisable. But that time, that was a good job that he did that. Just trying to clear it out of harm's way.
Mark, I think if you're Clayton, you don't mind catching Williamstown after their big win over Washington Township. If you're going to catch a team off a little bit of a letdown, this might be the kind of game where it could happen.
Except that letdown, they played very well right after that, Ed, when they beat Cumberland. Cumberland, as people may forget, is the defending champion in this Trico Royal Division. But that's a team that I saw them last week. They're very good, but they've been decimated by graduation. They're nowhere near the team they had last year with Dave Mattis and company.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's sent back up to center into Williamstown territory where it's kicked away, coming right near us and sent nicely by Cooper down the sidelines, where it's picked up once again by Evan Small.
I really like Small. I like Small and Pierce there, really controlling things and getting things going for this Williamstown team, not really rushing and being in a hurry. Both of them have done a nice job. Look at Pierce, again, taking his time and looking for the open player.
He finds it as it's picked up to Janowski, as he's able to have it and then lose it as Pierce will go after it again for the Braves. Now picking it up along the far side is Baganski as he will try to send it in. It rolls near the Clayton bench, and you see the Clippers bench. There is a difference, as you mentioned, in depth, not just with talent, but with numbers between these two teams.
Yeah, I think Dan Antonelli says he only has about 4 guys that he can really go to on the bench. But you know what's good, Ed? They're fielding a JV team, which is really good for the soccer program. You know, the youth program in Clayton has done an outstanding job, and this is the team that this Clayton team is starting to really benefit from that. Verrecchio, Green, people like that came through the system, and there aren't many strong high schools that don't have the feeder system in place.
So now Williamstown will look to set it up ahead. It's set up near the far side. Clippers so far doing a nice job keeping Williamstown semi-bottled up in their own zone. They haven't really been able to get anything going, and now it's thrown up ahead, and John Andrew will go after it, but it's knocked away, and now it's sent up ahead by Powell. Powell sending it over to Putman as he will send it back over to the far side. Headed away now by Sanders, and he'll roll it down the far sideline right near the Clayton bench, and the Braves will pick it up there as taking it away is Muniz. Muniz sending one up now as Putman tries to cut across center. Sent along the near side as the Braves will look to set up and break out into the Clayton zone. Ellis sends one up ahead, now going after it is Janowski. Into the corner, lost the ball, still battling there for it, and we get a whistle, and Williamstown will keep possession.
Now see, Small is unmarked there, and I would advise that you mark him. He's Very, very tough.
Coming in front, a dangerous play, but it's cleared out by Jason Patton. Putman almost got to that one, and he had an open cage, but a nice play by Patton to knock it away.
And actually, a little better communication needed. Falcone came out. That looked like that should have been Falcone's ball. Give Patton a lot of credit for staying on it and clearing it. But initially, you'd think that was the keeper's ball there.
Now the Braves will get a throw in as it comes up to the top of the circle. Knocked out nicely by Falcone. Good aggressive play. Now another shot deflected in front. It's loose right near. Janowski can't get it as Falcone dives out to make a fine save.
That's a great job by Falcone. We talked about his aggressiveness early on. He was out of position, had to get back, and still had to get settled to get that shot.
Now Cooper will look to send it up for the Braves as it's sent up ahead now to Olsen. John Olsen touching the ball for the first time, but he has to take it away by King, who tries to work it up the far sideline. Trying to get his foot on it is Sanders, but he will lose it out of bounds. It's deflected away, so Clayton will keep possession as it's thrown up ahead to King. King battling in there along with Muniz, trying to work it ahead. He is double teamed, still trying to work it free. Powell knocks it away from him, now sends it up ahead. Racing after it for Clayton is McDonald. McDonald able to knock it away, but is picked up again by Williamstown. Here comes Evan Small looking to set up. Small tried a touch pass, but didn't get much on it and had it taken away. Now the Clippers will come back the other way on the counterattack. Knocked away at center once again, and picking it up is Mellish. Mellish will work it up near the center circle with the Clippers. Will intercept again and look to carry it up ahead. Up along the far side it goes. It's giving chase for Williamstown now is Olsen. Olsen battling in there with Andrew. Olsen keeping it in bounds, will try to kick it ahead up the sideline, but the Clippers intercept. Here's the shot on goal. That's blocked in front. Is trying to get a leg on it was Green. Now Powell has it for Williamstown. Powell will just try to send it up ahead. And now looking to pick it up for Williamstown is Putman. Putman loses the ball. Clayton still looking strong here early on as they keep possession. Finally, Cooper has it, trying to work it up along the far side. And now it's taken by Williamstown as Evan Small will kick it up ahead, where it's deflected again. Good play defensively by Kaczynski. Now it's sent back towards center, and the Clippers knock it right back in again as the Braves look to set up, but on it quickly again is Marcio. Ball heading towards the sideline right near the Clayton bench, where it's kept in by John Andrew.
John Andrew had a shot. If he got that ball off that bounce of maybe going to the races, but it just bounced a little bit away. Andrew's one of those guys at number 9 that kind of makes a pest of himself to opposing defenses. You really have to account for him. He goes to the goal very well.
Now it's set up ahead for Putman, but coming out quickly is the aggressive Tony Falcone. He clears it out of bounds right above the head of Williamstown coach Harry White.
Ed, we talk so much on these broadcasts about how a keeper has to be assertive coming off that line. We've seen it from Falcone. No hesitation right away, and it's really helped his team.
As you can see, the sun breaking out behind the clouds here at Williamstown, and Muniz will send it up ahead. Janowski going after it. Janowski trying to turn, now feeds it back behind for Small. This is Small in the corner. Small sending one towards the cage and diving out again. Falcone to make the save. Well, an aggressive goalkeeper. Sometimes you gamble a little bit. Sometimes you can read the pass like that and turn a potential shot into a save. Now the Braves will look to come back once again as Ben Pierce will set it up along the near sideline. Over it goes once again now as Mellish will pick it up, and we get a whistle. We have a player shaken up for the Clippers. Just about 15 minutes gone by here in this first half. No score. See who that is. Whoever it is appears to be okay.
It's Verrecchio right now. They could ill afford to lose him for any kind of an extended time.
I think they're going to bring him out just to check him out, and then I wouldn't be surprised if he came right back in the game as they are getting a substitution ready. So now Clayton, or rather Williamstown, will keep the ball here, and I think they're going to get a free kick. Let's see.
You notice, though, that Williamstown is starting to pick up the pressure a little bit. Clayton can't play just defensively and sit back. They're going to have to counterattack.
This is a senior-laden team, as you mentioned, in Williamstown. They have been very patient under pressure this year, and the next 10 minutes or so are going to be very critical here for Clayton. Janowski sending it up ahead. The Clippers trying to clear it out. The ball is loose, popped up high into the air, and unable to pick it up now for Williamstown is Small, and the Clippers will try to clear it out. Ball chasing after, but it's taken away again by John Andrew, who's had a very active first half. Braves will get it back as Janowski chases into the corner. Janowski, as he gets flied at by Bruce McDonald, lost that one a little bit, and let's see who the free kick's going to be. It's going to be for Clayton.
Ed, that was a good call. Janowski actually pushed his way to get possession that time, and officials right on it. Again, those long balls are not going to help Clayton one bit.
And Williamstown has won every one of them so far. They win another one right there, but now Pierce battling for it right at center. Able to pick it up and kick it ahead up along the near side. Janowski chases after it. Is back in there for Clayton is Kaczynski. Kaczynski lost the ball, and we get a whistle. And it looks like Clayton will get the ball back. So the Clippers so far getting some early chances, but Williamstown starting to tilt the field a little bit here.
Well, the other thing about the defenders of Clayton, what they want to do, Ed, there have been a couple of missed traps, and you hate to see that happen from a defensive perspective, especially back there. So they're going to have to do a little better job trapping the ball.
They battle for it at center, and picking it up is Small. Small lost the ball, and it's loose once again. 4 players going after it. Good scrap right near center. And we get a whistle, and the Clippers will get a free kick.
Yeah, you can see why Williamstown hasn't allowed many goals. Cooper that time on the head ball, number 19. Very, very aggressive going up for that ball.
So the Clippers look to set up, and as Marc mentioned, we'll see just how high this ball goes because of Williamstown's dominance in the air. And we see it right there as Cooper's able to win that battle, but now taking it away is Clayton, but I think we have an offside called. So Williamstown will take over.
And I thought it was a handball at that time.
Well, they were going for John Andrew, who is, again, one of the few Clippers who can match up size-wise with this Williamstown defense, but unable to get the ball away, and it was a hand violation, so now Williamstown looked to battle ahead.
That great body control by Putman. Look at that.
He's able to work it ahead now for Pierce. Pierce patiently getting it up to Janowski. Janowski just steering one in front. Braves go after it. It's knocked away right on goal, and Falcone able to make the save and hang on. So Tony Falcone has had a very active first half for the Clippers.
Well, Mike Muniz, 26, got that shot off and went to the near post that time, and Falcone had that position guarded pretty well.
Now the Braves send it up ahead once again. Muniz trying to drop it back. Now he gets it again. Tied up by a couple of Clippers, and is kicked out of harm's way by E.J. Sanders as it rolls over to the Braves bench.
Well, Muniz is physically strong, and I think they're having a tough time. I mean, he's been shielding players off the ball and winning a lot of balls, and he's been giving that Clayton defense a real rough time, Ed.
Now the Braves will try again as Putman going after it, and now McCallie trying to steer towards the net. Tips one in front and chipped on net, and they score. It looked like it was Janowski who put it up high, and Williamstown takes a 1-0 lead.
That was a great job that time, too, by Putman, Ed, because he ran through the ball, faked as if he was going to get it, let the ball go through, and Janowski right there. And they had been really battling and giving a lot of trouble up front, and finally converted.
And that was Delmar DeMcCallie who made that play. He'll get the assist, but he was patient and got it in front.
There you see the crossing right there. Before that, that was when Putman had run through that ball. So
really Falcone helpless in that situation. When you got a guy that close, able to chip it up high as Janowski did, he's not going to be able to stop it. So a 1-0 lead for Williamstown as the ball is blocked and knocked away out of bounds. So a good start for the Braves as now they look to pick up some momentum off that goal as Janowski will get the throw up to Pierce. Pierce trying to cut in, ball was knocked away, and we'll get a corner kick up coming here for the Braves.
That is Janowski's first goal of the year, according to my statistics.
Well, the timing certainly is good for Williamstown. We mentioned how this is going to be a critical stretch for Clayton with the Braves seemingly getting back in with their game. And as a result, they put the first goal of the game in.
Well, Clayton got by that first 15-minute interval we had said, Ed. It was unofficially about 17:50 into the game when the goal was scored.
Ball's kicked up. Braves trying to head at it. It's taken away. Now there's a booming shot that's deflected, I believe. If it is, yes it is. It'll be another corner kick for the Braves. So it'll be Pierce to take the corner kick off that shot by Evan Small, which was deflected.
Really been impressed with Pierce's demeanor on that field, how calm he is, how he doesn't panic.
Getting close now, a couple minutes away from unofficially the halfway point of this first half, with the Braves leading Clayton 1-0, and Pierce unable to get that corner kick where he wants it. It goes out of bounds, and Clayton will take over. So the Clippers now will try to get something going. They had some momentum going early on, but the Braves, as Marc has mentioned, very patiently started to find a couple of cracks in Clayton defensively, and were able to get a couple of good chances. Now it's set up ahead, and a head ball put high into the air by the Braves. Two players battling for it, and it'll be Pierce again taking it from Williamstown.
See, that's Cooper playing that stopper position, Ed, and he's just so tough in the air that you just have so much trouble going it down the middle against them.
And they're unable to pick it up as the Clippers will take it away, and here comes Andrew. Andrew coming the other way now for Clayton. It's kicked up high into the air. We're going after it now is Mike Green.
See, Clayton needs some numbers to help out, Ed. There are 3 Clayton shirts and about 5 Williamstown. They need numbers to help when they get up on the attack.
And the Williamstown shirts are usually a little taller, as Muniz now will try to cut in. Muniz has it knocked away. Good defensive play by Sanders as it goes out of bounds. And let's see what we have. I think it will be Clayton ball.
Well, what they're saying is that Muniz pushed off, and now we're going to have a card here, Ed.
That would be our first card of the day, and that is exactly what we're getting, a yellow card held up. So Muniz picking up the first card of the afternoon. And now Clayton will take the ball as Verrecchio will do the honors. 1-0 Williamstown on top. The Clippers coming in at 8-1, but 2 very tough tests. Williamstown today and Shalleck, the Tri-County Classic favorite and division leader, up next week.
Of course, Blaze Richards coming in now for Muniz on that, and once you get a card, you have to come out.
Harry White, the Williamstown coach, talked about how he knew his players had potential year after year, and that this was the year they were pointing to, that this team certainly had potential to make a serious run this season. They're ranked 9th in the Philadelphia Inquirer, 10th in the Courier Post.
Well, you know, Ed, it's not like they've just come out of nowhere. They were 12-6 last year, and had Cumberland, with that special team, not come into the Trico last year, I mean, Williamstown may have made a run for it then as well.
Braves still have to play Kingsway, Delsey, and Deptford. And of course, Coach Harry White talking about all 3 could present a challenge, but the varied opinion of many is that Delsey will be the biggest challenge up for Williamstown in the division on that schedule. Braves now looking to work it up along the far side as Powell will take it into the corner. Powell looking for a little room to try and set one in front as he gets by one man. Now the Braves try to work it on that far side. A bunch of players battling for it. Now Powell will set it in front. It's deflected and diving out again is Falcone to make the save as the Braves were trying to get it into the crease.
Well, what Falcone did was save his team a corner kick because that was off one of the Clayton defenders that time, and Falcone was able to keep that and save the corner and get it up.
So now Janowski will try to send it ahead. The goal scorer for Williamstown does get it into the Clayton zone where it's headed up in the air. And the Braves once again winning the air war as Martelletti will take it. Now comes across right near the net, but Falcone quickly out to pick it up and hang on. So now the Clippers will look to send it out. Sent back towards center. Janowski intercepts again, and now the Braves really starting to carry the play as it's sent back out to center by the Clippers. Braves picking it up again now, looking to take it across as Richards.
I think Verrecchio's got to get in the attack a little bit more. He's got to get more touches and move up. As we said, we know he's not 100% physically, but they definitely need more touches for him to get things going. Williamstown keeps working that left flank, don't they, Ed?
Yes, they do.
They're doing a great job there.
Worked it successfully, too. In fact, it resulted in the first goal of the game, and the Braves will take over once again. It looks like it'll be thrown in, or rather it'll be a throw in. Yes, it will, as Pierce will look to pick it up for the Braves. Pierce now, shadowed nicely. Good defense by Patton as he won't allow Pierce to get it ahead, and now it's knocked away, and the Braves will try once again.
That's a great play by Pierce, you know, causing that corner kick that time. Again, he doesn't panic, takes his time.
It'll be Martelletti now to take the corner kick for Williamstown, and he'll try to get one up high in the air. Left-footed kicker is ready to go. Here it is, up in the air. The battle for it. It's loose as Falcone's out of the net, but Clayton is able to knock it away. Falcone went after that ball, was unable to get it, but the Clippers defense able to clear. Clayton trying to work it out, but it's kept in again by Mellish, and we get a whistle, and the Clippers will take over. So Williamstown already with the 1-0 lead, and ever since that goal, they really had the momentum going as we were about 22 minutes gone by in this first half.
Hey, this is such a physical back line. We talked about Cooper, also Mellish, big and strong. You see him there on that play, kicking the ball away.
And he does kick it away. Now here comes Williamstown again. Looking to send it in now is Recchia. Trying to get across. Check that, make that Martelletti as he has it knocked away, and now we get another whistle. And once again, as Marc mentioned, the Braves working on that left flank, and they've been getting penetration, and Clayton will take over here.
I think you can also see the importance of physical strength in the high school game, and Williamstown is one of the stronger teams we've seen, especially in this back line that they have.
Now it's sent back to center again, and this time it's McCallie who set up the first goal, able to get it, but the Clippers intercept and working up along the far side. There to pick it off is Luke Behrman as it goes out of bounds, and now Clayton will try to find a way defensively to keep Williamstown from penetrating that left flank.
Yeah, the other thing is Williamstown's been able to substitute a little more freely, and come the second half, that might be a big help for this team.
Especially if it remains 1-0 or if it's a one-goal game going into the second half. And this team can absolutely smother you defensively, and that's what we've seen by Williamstown ever since the first 5 minutes of this game.
And we talked about Williamstown's only losses to Shalleck. I saw them last weekend, and I am very impressed with them. I think Shalleck and Haddon Heights are going to be the two teams in Group 1 to really look for. And they're a great forward, and Jason Copere, one of the better players in South Jersey. They're a deep team, and losing 1-0 to them, certainly no disgrace.
And for Williamstown, that was their first loss of the season, first game of the season when they lost to Shalleck. They haven't lost since. And as Marc mentioned, Shalleck's certainly the team to beat in the Tri-County Classic. So now it's sent back in, and now going to knock it out of the Braves as the Clippers try to set up, trying to get it in front. They're looking for Patton, who was waiting at the top, but unable to get on the ball. Now the Clippers will attack again. It's sent in towards the net. Delaney, now there's a collision. The goal is open, the shot, and it's knocked away by the defense. Janoski's there. Now another crack at it by Verrecchio, and it sails wide. Boy, the goaltender, Dan Reverso, came out. There was an open net, but two Braves got to the cage to knock it away.
Well, John Olson, the sweeper, did a great job that time, and that's what you want your sweeper to do. He's there to back up the play, and he was right there, and had Olson not been there, the score would be tied. That's a great run by Clayton.
And you see Reverso holding his stomach a little bit there, holding his hand. Not sure if he was shaken up a little bit on that collision. Now he's still holding his, almost looks like his right rib area, and he has to get back quickly as back comes Clayton. Andrew sending it to the near side to Delaney. Delaney sending it back, and it's intercepted by the Braves as Putman will take it away. Putman surrounded by two Clippers, and Clayton will control once again. And Dan Reverso is still holding his right side. And so we'll keep an eye on him over there as he's able to stand and walk, but so far, no motion from him going to the bench. Now it's set up ahead back into Williamstown territory, kicked up, deflected away. As the Clippers now starting to pick up the pace after that opportunity, but Pierce will take it away for Williamstown. Sent up the far side, blocked. Sanders looking to get it out. He can't as it rolls towards the corner. Pierce trying to chase after it to keep it in, but he cannot. So the Clippers will take over. Now that was a pretty nasty collision, a clean collision with two players going for the ball, but unfortunately for Reverso, he seemed to have gotten the worst of it. Now the Clippers will look to clear it out. Let's see if Clayton can build on that last opportunity. They really hadn't had a quality chance on goal since the opening 5 minutes. Now the Braves looking to battle and keep it in. Sending it ahead now is Putman. Now Pierce trying to turn around to pick it up, and now we'll send it back. As then McCallie will look to send it in. And McCallie heads it forward, but it's knocked away by the Clippers, who are able to get it out. Now Cooper trying to keep it in, does a nice job to block the ball, and now it goes to the near side to Janoski. Janoski looking to set up, cleared toward the net, blocked away, and it's set up high into the air as the Clippers look to regroup.
See, Clayton had some time to trap that ball, settle, and then kick it out instead of trying to trap it in one time. It makes a big difference, Ed. It changes the possession again, and Williamstown now looking to get that goal.
Now it's sent in towards the net. That one goes high over the net as Muniz puts one too high. Now Williamstown will watch Clayton take over again. It's a 1-0 lead for Williamstown. We're just a little over halfway through this first half. Ed Benkin and Marc Narducci coming to you from what is actually the grounds of Williamstown Middle School, although we're overlooking the high school. The athletic facilities for Williamstown still on the middle school grounds. Now it's kicked up ahead as the Clippers try to work it up, but once again, there is Jeff Mellis there, able to block it, and now Williamstown will take it again. Sent back up high in the air by Delaney as the Clippers will give chase. First one in there to go after it is John Andrew, but he loses it. Now Williamstown just looking to settle and work it out of their zone. Very patient as they work their way out of their own end, as we're seeing right here. Evans small, had it knocked away. Clippers send it back in towards the Williamstown zone, where John Olson, the sweeper, is there for the Braves.
Olson been very solid. Besides stopping that goal, that was not the best pass. And here comes Clayton. A little bit of a nice attack here.
Mike Green looking to find some room to get it across, but once again, Olson is there to knock it away. It comes back to Clayton now as Delaney will try to work it in.
Ed, the problem are numbers. Clayton only has about 3 people up there, and look at all the blue shirts that you see, the Williamstown shirts. It's a tough situation. They have to start filling those areas and sending more people up.
Now rolls out of bounds, and Williamstown will take over as Mellish will look to throw it in.
It's almost as if it's like a 3-on-5 or something on there.
It's a dangerous situation for Clayton because they don't want to get caught in their own zone with the way this Williamstown team can attack, but I think you'll start to see this team, if they're still down 1-0 in the second half, send a few more players up front. Meanwhile, it's still just a 1-0 lead for Williamstown, so the Clippers will take over once again. They've had a couple of spurts where they've been able to get in. Only a couple of chances so far.
Well, if you're Clayton and you can go in at halftime 1-0, I think you would take that right now.
And again, we'll keep an eye on Reverso. He's not holding his side anymore. Probably still hurts, but probably feeling better, or at least well enough to stay in there. Now it's rolled away along the sidelines, and the Clippers will get a throw in. Clayton trying to work the right flank over in the Williamstown zone, but nobody able to get through as Cooper will just send it back up again.
I really like how Cooper can back up plays as well as Olson back there. You really like those guys in the middle of your defense there to be able to have a feel and anticipate some plays.
Now Small sends it up to Andrew Janowski. Janowski lost the ball, but he'll try to set it up again for Williamstown. Now this is Pierce towards the net. Nobody there for Williamstown as it's blocked away nicely and knocked out by Kaczynski, but now it's loose again. There's another shot that goes high into the air, and that'll go over the crossbar, and Clayton will take over as Evan Small a couple of times has had a chance to put it on net, but has hit it too high.
And I think the example we had given of Williamstown's physical strength was that time. Janowski got the ball and then was able to shield off a defender and then pass it over there to Small that time to set up the play. But again, that's just using good physical strength.
Just about 30 minutes gone by here in this first half. A 1-0 lead for Williamstown as it's kicked ahead. McDonald trying to knock it out for the Clippers, and it rolls out of bounds. And the Braves will take over once again, as doing the throw-in honors will be Martelletti. Martelletti now along the far side, just bouncing one in as the Braves look to set up once again. Now it's sent towards the net, blocked. Picked up again. Another shot towards the net. It rolls right on Falcone, who had a clear look at that one. And Tony Falcone, the senior tri-captain, able to hang on.
Again, a good fundamental job by Falcone. Getting down on that knee. You don't want to take any kind of chances of ball bouncing over you. He had it positioned well. And that's a great play by Sanders, number 12 that time. Sanders has been tested a lot because they've been going down the left side. Sanders playing that right outside back position.
Headed again towards Falcone, but he gets out on that quickly. Again, the Braves trying to work through the air as it's headed up towards the crease, but nobody there except Falcone, who's so quick to get out on the ball. And it's set ahead, and now there's a break on the head ball, and Andrew trying to get in. Andrew still trying to cut in, but a nice play by Jeff Mellish to kick it away. Bit of a misplay as the ball was headed towards the Williamstown end, but Mellish is there again.
You always tell your forwards, play the miss, and that time that's exactly what Andrew did. He played the miss as Olson didn't time it well on that bouncing header. Could have been a chance. Mellish right there. I'm really impressed with this defense, how the defenders pick up for each other, Ed.
Still a chance here for Clayton as the Clippers will get a corner kick. Away! And high into the air, and can anybody get there for Clayton? No, they can't, as it drifts a little too far over everybody. And Muniz will kick it back out for Williamstown, but he kicks it out of bounds, so Clayton will get a throw in front of their own bench.
Well, you like a ball to go to the far post. That one actually went too far because it wasn't near the post. It was out more toward the 6.
Now Clayton will try again, but we get another whistle, so it will start again, back again with the throw-in coming from the Clayton bench. Up to the far side it goes. It's headed up and knocked away. Giving chase now for the Clippers and trying to get things set up is Andrew, and now Clayton will get another throw-in.
It's a good job by Andrew. He knew he wasn't going to win the head ball, so he didn't go up for it that time and played it off the head.
that might be the best way going against these guys when you see the balls go up in the air like that. But once again, it's Williamstown trying to break out of the zone. Mellish, surrounded by a couple of Clippers, looking to send one ahead. Good touch pass up ahead to Evan Small. Small will get a chance to set it in. Here's the pass in front, knocked away. It rolls back over to Putman. He can't get a shot on goal, but now the Braves control once again. Putman trying to get through, still dancing through, still has control of the ball, and finally has it knocked away as it comes back over to Marshall. Boy, it's certainly an exciting stretch there by Putman, but he's unable to get the shot away. And going after his pal, heads it loose. He gets a pass, Falcone. Ball is still loose. Falcone trying to get back in time, and a diving play made in front and still loose. And somehow the Clippers keep it out of the net. Not sure how they did that. One of the defenders got there, got a foot on it just in time. With the Braves, oh, so close to making it 2-0. The ball roll over to the near side, and chasing after it is Evan Small. Powell now will kick it up in the air. Clippers trying to get it out, but Small will still keep it in for Williamstown. Good play by Small to keep it in, but the Clippers finally intercept and look to go on the counterattack. Setting up ahead, and it's knocked away, but rolling towards Andrew. He can't get to it, so kicking it away to the far side is Mike Green. Green sending it over to McClellan. McClellan will watch it go out of bounds, and Williamstown will take over, and we catch our breath a little bit.
Ed, that was a great defensive play by Sean Kaczynski. He's the one that saved that goal for Clayton that time. Again, what happened was Clayton actually kicked it off itself and back toward the goal, and Kaczynski was right there on the spot, and had he not been there, it would have been 2-0.
Now it's sent up ahead once again by the Braves, and rather by the Clippers, and the Braves intercept once again with the ball in the air. Bartoletti working it ahead. And the Braves will try again, working to the right side for a nice defensive play by Clayton to knock it away. It will roll out of bounds, and the Braves will get a throw in.
Again, that was Delaney that time. The play looked good, Ed. It was a good, but it would have been better served if he would have trapped that ball, settle it, and then get out. That's a nice feed that time by Putman.
Mellish now involved, and so is Small as he goes after it. It rolls out of bounds. And it'll be Clayton ball. So the Clippers taking over, still trailing this game by a score of 1-0.
Wow, that was another great defensive play by Kaczynski, number 3 that time, kicking that ball off number 14 Small and giving the Clippers the goal kick.
Unofficially, we have about 35 minutes gone by in this first half, so as we get closer to halftime, as Marc mentioned, I don't think the Clippers will be too upset going down only 1-0 if they can hold off Williamstown the rest of this half, but Powell will get a chance on a nice touch pass, and coming out is Falcone as he's able to grab it, and Tony Falcone knows with the way this Williamstown team can pass the ball, he has to be quick to intercept.
Great job by Muniz that time. You talked about the fine touch pass. One juggle, and then he sent it out there. That's a great job.
And now Clayton will get the ball as looking to do the throwing honors is John Delaney, the junior midfielder for this squad.
You know what you like about this Williamstown team? There are a lot of players that have good ball skills and they're physical. So they combine finesse and that physical style of play. And then as a coach, Coach Harry White couldn't ask for more than that.
Now it's kicked up ahead and intercepted. Now the Braves look to break out, but it's kicked back in by Clayton. Nobody there for the Clippers, though now giving chase quickly is John Andrew, and waiting to make the save is Dan Reverso as he will look to kick it out.
Reverso did a good job. A lot of keepers would have just come at it and kicked the ball away like that. He took his time, made sure it came back to him, and then was able to make the pump.
Now Marshall will send it over to the far side, giving chase for Williamstown as Behrman, but he won't be able to get it, so Clayton will get a throw in just in front of the center stripe.
That was a nice thought by Marshall. Again, looking to spread things out. Williamstown has done that many times. Instead of always going forward, they'll look to spread it out.
Stay on him, Jason! Come on, Payne, you got him, Payne! All right.
So it rolls over to the near side of the field.
Run him down!
Now they look to send it in. Braves looking to make a rush, but Falcone is there once again. I think we have it offside even before Falcone able to make the save, so it will be Clayton ball.
They're saying Powell was offsides that time, but Mellish, again, coming from the back, making the pass, and again, Williamstown, the difference in this game is the Williamstown defenders have been coming up and have been an integral part of the attack. The Clayton defenders have been just more satisfied with defending.
There is strength in numbers, no question about that. That's what we've seen so far. Now the Clippers will try again as Andrew tries to get ahead on the ball, but Mellish is there to control once again for Williamstown. He's had a strong first half, but this time his pass is picked off by Delaney. Into the corner it goes now to John Andrew. Andrew has to go off his foot on a good play by John Olson, the sweeper for the Braves, and Williamstown will take over. And that's another fine play by Olson, another smart play going into the corner, able to just bang it off the leg of Andrew.
They ought to guard the keeper on this because you can get a free pass here. Clayton ought to have somebody on the keeper.
And they don't, so let's see.
Reverso's not going to the ball, but I mean, that might be the way I'd go if I'm Williamstown.
Ellis just taking his time. Instead, he'll work it up the near sideline as it's headed up, and a good play by Delaney to try to keep it in. And we get another whistle. Clippers working hard here, and now they'll get a chance.
Now again, instead of setting up, Verrecchio's going to go to the far post, but I would go for the shot here.
He does go for the shot, and it's knocked away. It might have been going wide, but Reverso was there to cover the near side. Now it's kept in once again by Verrecchio. Centering it across, and nobody there, and Williamstown will take over. So a good thought, and he gets the shot away.
Yeah, good thought. He went to the near post instead of the far. The far was open as far as if he had a shot. Reverso got to the near post very quickly that time. But either way, it was a good idea shooting the ball from there. Clayton's got to get shots on goal.
Now it's settled down, and Mellish will send it up ahead. Ball comes loose, it's sent back in, and now chasing after it is Andrew, but quickly out to get it is Reverso. And he'll make the save, gives a little look back at Andrew, as there was some slight contact as Andrew went past him.
Well, they thought he was offsides, but I thought Marc on the other side kept him onside that time.
Come on, Jay, you got him, kid!
The Williamstown defenders, again, have to all be in unison and move up together if they're going to do that. There's Mellish, again, helping on the attack, Ed. How many times have we seen him do that?
It's been a big reason why Williamstown's had a successful first half, and now coming in again is Callie across, but that one looked like it was knocked away. No, it just went wide. If that's the case, Clayton will take over. We're down to what should be the final couple of minutes here of this first half.
I really like how Falcone, besides his aggressiveness, plays the angles. Did you see him that time in the near post? Martelly didn't have any really good angle to shoot at that time. Very impressed, Ed, with both teams. I mean, Clayton's showing a little bit here, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, there were some people really thinking that this would be too tough a matchup for the Clippers, but here they are, 1-0. They've had a couple of chances, and that will do it. That's the end of the first half. An entertaining first half here at Williamstown High School. The score after one half of play, the Williamstown Braves won, the Clayton Clippers nothing. That is our Pro B Chiropractic scoreboard as we go to halftime. You're watching high school boys soccer here on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43.
I got my Larry Bow.
Welcome back to Williamstown. Ed Benkin here with Marc Narducci as we get set to start the second half with the Williamstown Braves on top by a score of 1-0 as you check out our Pro B Chiropractic scoreboard. Marc, maybe a moral victory for Clayton. You don't like to say that too much in a game with a team that already has just one loss coming in, but the Clippers still within striking distance.
A moral victory, Ed, because we said they'd be happy to come in at halftime at 0-1. But again, I think, and Clayton had a couple of decent attacks. John Olson, the sweeper, saved the one goal when he backed up the play in the first half. But I think Clayton's got to get more numbers offensively. I think they can't just keep hanging back. Now they're close. It's a competitive game. Now it's time for them to attack a little bit more.
And on the other end, too, we'll see if the Braves attack a little less. They've been sending a lot of their halfbacks, some of their fullbacks even up on the attack in the first half.
See, if I were Williamstown, I would keep doing it because if I'm them, I want to go for that knockout punch. They probably feel if they can get that second goal that could pretty much put Clayton away. So I expect at least Williamstown, at least the first 10 minutes, to really come after Clayton.
So here comes Williamstown in the royal blue and Clayton in the navy blue going from left to right, able to intercept as we start the second half. And Verrecchio looking impressive after a strong first half, trying to center it through, but the Braves able to knock it down and settling it as Beatty. Beatty will get it up ahead now to Putman. Putman, who had a couple of chances early on in that first half but couldn't hit the cash register, gets it to the only goal scorer, Janowski, who loses it out of bounds. Now Clayton will look to set it up ahead. It goes up to the far side, and now Andrew going to kick it away. He lost it, and the Braves will take over once again. This is Pierce now. Pierce, who's been solid throughout this game, sending it up to the near side and giving Jason Beatty.
I think that Williamstown has to feed off of Pierce and Small and Putman, and those guys can do all the distributing they need, like that play right there.
Trying to work it through is Janowski again, centering it across. It was blocked away, but Small will now leave it for Pierce. Now he'll take it himself. Small. He went over to Putman. Putman tried to get a shot away. Don't think that was deflected. He just miskicked that, and it goes out of bounds. And Clayton will take over.
I think the job Tony Falcone's done in the first half, he certainly lived up to his billing as one of the premier keepers in this Tri-County Conference.
Yeah, he's no doubt kept his team in this game, and really the one goal that was scored against him, there wasn't anything he could do about it.
Ed, I saw a keeper last week, Scott Ward of Gloucester Catholic, played great, and his team lost 6-1. You might say, how can a goalie play great? But Shalleck just dominated them, but Ward is also one of the better goaltenders in the Trico. An interesting thing that game, he actually scored a goal. I had not seen that. He took an indirect kick from about 80 yards out. Hey, there's some future soccer players.
And when you're the coach's kids, as these two are, you look like they're ready to play already.
Anyway, I haven't seen too many keepers score goals, and Ward did that for Gloucester Catholic. But, you know, Falcone and Ward, I think, are two of the better keepers in the entire Tri-County.
Nice job. He was able to kick it ahead as Sanders, but it's deflected and taken away now by Small as he'll go up the far side. Small now staying ahead and carrying in his Mellish as he'll send it into the corner. Nobody there for the Braves, however. And again, we're watching just a couple of fewer light blue jerseys going in there, at least to start the second half of the attack. So now Falcone will drop it over to Verrecchio, who will get set to kick it out.
This is tough with Verrecchio taking the goal kick. He's the guy you want up in the attack the most.
But with the strength and size of Williamstown, Verrecchio instead able to kick it off, and he's able to get it across. And now Clayton will look to break out as Baganski will work it ahead. Baganski down the sideline, lost it as it was partially deflected, or was it not? No, it was not deflected as Pierce just made a fine defensive play to knock it away.
Yeah, Baganski had the right idea that time, just the execution didn't get there. Great job that time by Small, shielding the ball. That's a tremendous shield. And forced the foul that time by Baganski.
Yeah, that was textbook right there, and we got a great look at it. It was right in front of us. And now the Braves will kick it away. And John Olson, who's been Mr. Solid in his zone once again, able to kick it out to start it up for Williamstown.
Yeah, some people can shield with their sheer strengths, others with quickness. That time Small did it with quickness.
Now Clayton will take over once again, working it up the near side of the Clippers. They look to break out of the zone. Getting knocked down after clearing it away was Verrecchio.
That's an excellent call. That is an excellent call. He got hammered that time, and Verrecchio's done a very good job all game of beating that first guy, Ed. We talked about his ball skills. Now again, they're looking to go up. I would actually kick the ball short, but they're not going to do that.
They do look to kick it up. It comes loose, but it's knocked away. Headed back in now by Clearviews. Patton got a head on it. Patton going after it again, but it's Putman, once again for Williamstown. Now Janowski trying to take it back for the Braves. The Clippers intercept as Green will try to work it out. Green now over to the far side for Delaney. Delaney battling for it along with Putman near the sideline. And Putman able to take it away. Tremendous play right across the far side. And now looking to bring it up ahead. Now over to get it now is Williamstown. As into the corner goes Demicali. Demicali, who set up the only goal of the game so far, trying to work it in front. But it's knocked away by the Clippers. Demicali has it again, but being knocked down behind the play is Delaney. And the Clippers will get a free kick.
Yep, the officials have not missed too many here today. Demicali that time on a pretty blatant trip.
Dennis Chang and John Humes on top of their game. The officials this afternoon doing a fine job in this one. And we're early in the second half. It is 1-0 Williamstown on top. Ball's headed away, and Cooper will chip it back up ahead. Demicali will try again. Demicali lost it, got it back. Demicali lost it again, and it's sent back to center. Trying to turn with it is Mike Green. Mike Green able to get it ahead, chipping it towards the net. Coming after it is Reverso, and he will boom it back up ahead along the far side. Now Putman sending one up for Demicali. Demicali will not give chase as Putman now will go in after against Kaczynski. Kaczynski working up the far side, but Williamstown keeping it in as Evan Small takes control. Small now over to Pierce. Pierce working far side. Janowski trying to get it in front. Bartoletti can't get to it. Now he does on the second try. He's bumped. Trying to work it ahead to Pierce. Ball is loose, and the Clippers will look to break out.
That's good defensive help that time by Clayton, converging on the ball.
Pass to Baganski is headed down and knocked away, but chasing after it is Patton. Patton squirting one to the far side for John Andrew. Andrew looking for some help as he's bumped. Andrew still has control of the ball. Good defense by Williamstown, but now no, we get a whistle and we get a foul, so the Clippers will get a kick.
Well, I think they're calling obstruction that time. They did not give Andrew a chance to get to that ball, so it'll be an indirect kick, as you see some of the Braves fans.
Some of the faithful on hand here at Williamstown. Again, excited about their soccer here. A lot of confidence as this team can make a real run at Group 3. Of course, that playoff cutoff is still a few weeks away.
I'll tell you though, in Group 3, they'll have to contend with the two-time defending state co-champion Ocean City Red Raiders. Ocean City has been pounding people, Ed, but to be fair, Ocean City has not played the meat of its schedule, has not played a very difficult schedule. I think a team that has kind of caught a few people by surprise has been Delsey, still undefeated in this Tri-County Royal Division. And again, a team that still has to play its tougher games coming up, but Vince Nestor has that team playing very good soccer.
Yeah, we remember just a few years back, it was Ocean City and Delsey meeting down in Delsey for the championship. Delsey won that year in a thrilling game, 3-2. Had a 3-0 lead, and Ocean City stormed back at the end, almost tied the game, but Delsey came away with the championship. And as Mark mentioned, Ocean City has been on top the past couple of falls.
Of course, Tom Porter, the forward for Delsey, one of the most explosive players in the Tri-Co and beyond. So yeah, Delsey's going to be a tough team. And I still think Cumberland's a pretty good team. Even though Williamstown beat them 4-1, I still think they're a solid team.
And it's headed away. Harry White, when I asked him too about some of the Central Jersey schools, he certainly mentioned that Lacey Township will be another team in the mix as well. So it will be a very close, competitive, and I think very exciting Group 3 tournament in about a month or so. It's coming up fast, isn't it, Mark? We're almost at the end of September. It'll be October 1st at the beginning of the week, and the fall season and the spring season just flies by in South Jersey.
And the winter goes on forever.
Absolutely. Corner kick coming up. Knocked away. It's loose. Braves had a chance at it, knocked away. When you get winter break mixed in with an early start, a late finish, plus Tournament of Champions, and the winter season seems to go on double to the other two seasons. Now Williamstown will look to break out once again as Behrman will carry it ahead along the near side. Good play by Behrman. Behrman keeping it in. Behrman looking for help. Settles, centers. Putnam goes after it, but he can't get to it as it's knocked away by the Clippers and sent ahead now by Patton.
Kaczynski again, great head ball that time. He's made a number of tremendous defensive plays back there for Clayton.
That's sent ahead. Verrecchio sends it up to Baganski. Baganski trying to find a seam to get it through. Baganski looking for some help. A couple of Clippers finally go towards the front of the net. Baganski kicks it. And was it deflected? If it was, the Clippers will get a corner kick.
That was a great job by Baganski. First of all, John Olson, number 9, did what you want to do as a defender, Eddie. Forced him outside, kept him out there, and Baganski kicking it off and getting that corner kick. And we know about Verrecchio's got a great leg.
So Verrecchio, again with the height defensively for Williamstown, this makes sense for the Clippers to have him take the corner kick with his leg. As the Clippers look to set up in front of the net, it's a low kick, it's knocked away, and it comes back to Verrecchio. So Verrecchio will try to set up again, try to get in front, knocked away. Good defensive play by Muniz to knock it away, but another corner kick coming up here for the Clippers.
He's been kicking them low from this side. We'll see. Now he gets a little rise to it. Oh!
And a good play by the goalkeeper, Reverso, and he had to be alert. That one came right at him, and he smothered it to make the save. That one kind of surprisingly just kind of went through everybody. It seemed like everyone was looking up, waiting, and the next thing you knew, it was right in Reverso's arms. So now it comes back into the Clayton zone and over to settle it as Jason Patton. A 1-0 lead for Williamstown. Just over 10 minutes gone by here in this second half. Pierce to the far side, and now going after it is Mellish. And Mellish trying to keep it in. Cooper tried to set up, but hustling quickly to disrupt him was Green. And the Braves have to regroup back in their own zone with Olson.
Williamstown was doing this a lot more in the first half, Ed. They were spreading the field when they didn't see something forward. This is really the first time we've seen them do it here in the second half.
Pierce battling in there along with Shelson, and Pierce will get it up ahead. Behrman will chase after it, but coming out is Tony Falcone to grab it.
That's a great job by E.J. Sanders, that outside back, number 12 for Clayton. He was right on there on Behrman.
Now it's sent up and trying to turn with it, looking to carry it ahead is Patton. Patton lost it, and it's sent back by the Braves as Evan Small will work it up, and now comes to the near side of Behrman. Behrman now lost the ball, got it back. Braves Continue to pressure, and now the Clippers take it away as Boganski had it, lost it. And now bringing it out is Beatty. Beatty to the far side. Janowski's turn with the ball. Janowski now works it up along the far side, gets it back. Janowski trying to settle. Janowski still has it. Janowski chips one a little too high as he was looking for Bierman. And as a result, Clayton will take over.
Great job by Muniz, number 26, though, that time, sending in Janowski and setting that play up.
So now the Clippers will try again. Well, Clayton's had a couple of chances, but defensively, they've limited Williamstown a bit more here in the second half. And again, the Braves just keep an extra man or two back that they didn't keep back in the first half.
Win this, don't watch it!
Here's the kick up ahead by Verrecchio, and it comes right to the center stripe. Chipped back in by Cooper as the Braves look to attack. Battle for it again, and Pierce had it, lost it. Bierman now going after it, and we get a whistle, and we have a foul called, so Clayton will take over. So the Clippers trying to get the equalizer. They trail 1-0. Williamstown ranked 9th in one poll, 10th in another poll, coming off impressive wins this year so far over Washington Township and Clearview. Now the Clippers taking their time as they will get set. Verrecchio sends it up ahead. A sea of light blue jerseys able to knock it away, and once again the Braves will take over.
One thing Harry White said is, I don't want my team peaking in the last week of September. I want them to keep, keep coming and keep improving.
And we have seen the Braves in the past get some fast starts and then not be able to get it done. They've had a couple of decent runs in the playoffs, made it to the semifinals one year, but again, they are very confident that they can make a run this year as we get an offside.
Muniz just offside on that play.
Now Bierman going after it again for the Braves. He's had a strong second half. His pass is blocked. Williamstown will still get the throw in.
That's great hustle by Green that time, challenging for that ball. Green is another player who, again, if he can get some good touches around an offensive area, he can do some damage.
Now it's set up ahead as the Braves look to get going. Mellish will chip it ahead along the far side. Intercepted by Clayton as Patton has it.
Well, I think Clayton's done a better job at marking in this half. If you remember in the first half, there were a lot of wide-open Williamstown players, and they're not having that clearer path. I think Coach Antonelli at halftime got to them and really tightened things up defensively.
Here comes the throw right near the Deptford Soccer Post banner, one of our proud sponsors, hovering over the scoreboard this afternoon. Williamstown able to settle once again. Clayton having a bit more trouble these past few minutes getting in, but now they take over once again. Sent up ahead now and unable to get a good pass away was DeZinzio. DeZinzio goes after it again, but the Braves very calmly able to take it away as Evan Small will work it out to the far side. Small sending one up into that far corner, and now the Braves will chase after it once again. Muniz going in there. Make that Janowski now, trying to get it in front. A leaping play made by Tony Falcone. With Mike Muniz right on the doorstep, he's able to grab it again.
You're right, Muniz made that leap, so Falcone had to time that perfectly in order to get that ball.
Small gets it back again off the intercept. Bierman trying to bring it in. Bierman got towards the net, but Falcone will pick it up first as it's chipped ahead, and Sanders again making a fine play.
Great back heel pass by Hutton that time to get that play started. You're really impressed, Ed, with his touch, the touch that he has on the ball.
Bounds. Good hustle we're seeing there by Mike Green. Both these teams certainly give it their all out there. Part of the reason for their success and part of the reason that they're coached as well as they are is we do see that maximum effort by everybody.
Kosinski again with another fine defensive play.
Mellish now to Janowski on the far side as they'll try to set up again. Janowski goes down. He did not like that very much as he has a few words to the man who took him down. Looked like that was Jack King, but Williamstown will get a kick.
Yeah, Janowski has to just walk away from that. You get thrown out of a game and you get 2-game suspension as well. So, yeah, I know it's tough when you get taken down. You just have to move on.
This game hasn't been too chippy for the most part. Had one yellow card and that's been it. And for the most part, it's been a fairly clean game as the ball rolls out of bounds, and the Clippers will get set once again. It's a 1-0 lead for Williamstown with about 15 minutes gone by here in the second half.
I noticed that Williamstown seems to be getting a little impatient, Ed. They were working up better in the first half. They seem to be wanting to go long ball a lot.
Now it's boomed up ahead as the Clippers look to set up near center, but again the Braves take it away. Giving chase is Patton. But Patton has nowhere to go. Good job by the Braves again defensively, and Clayton will try again. Sent up ahead. Headed up, and now Jason Patton unable to go after it. Braves looking to take over, picked up. Beatty looking to send it out. Up ahead it goes. And now here come the Braves on the attack once again as Muniz will bring it in. Muniz tries to get by one man. It's kicked near the corner. Muniz chasing after it now as they fight for the ball. Muniz still has it. Muniz sending one towards the net. It's loose, tipped ahead with Falcone. Another great leaping job to get it out of the way. Falcone with some serious elevation, able to knock it away.
And had he not done that, Janowski was right there ready to head that ball in. So Falcone saved another potential goal.
Now it's knocked away, and we will step aside and take a break on our Proby Chiropractic scoreboard. It's Williamstown 1, Clayton 0. Stay with us on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. And we're back here at Williamstown. The Braves leading Clayton by a score of 1-0, and now they get a corner kick as it's sent in by Small up high in the air, headed bounce slowly towards the net, and it goes in for the goal. It looked like a deceptive head ball as it trickled through. Everyone kind of stopped, and there was a hesitation, but the ball rolls in for the goal, and Williamstown, on a header from what appeared to be Demicali, takes a 2-0 lead.
Demicali did get his head on that ball, Ed, and I believe you're right. He was the goal scorer. And everybody just sort of stopped.
Here it is again.
There's a head ball, went all the way out there, and Falcone was screened by all those bodies, and it just rolled in the near post.
It was like putting a pool ball into the right pocket. It deflected and rolled just a certain way, and that's the only way it could have gone in, and I think Falcone just picked it up too late. So as a result, it is now 2-0 Williamstown, and the Braves get that all-important second goal as they take command of this one.
About 17:30 into it unofficially.
So now looking at control of Small. So how about Demicali today? He has a goal and an assist, and he was one of the guys who doesn't always start, but Harry White said, yeah, I'm going to make sure he starts today. He's a senior. He's been playing well, and so far it's paid off with a goal and an assist. Now the Braves looking to work it out of the zone. Kicked up ahead, lost, and now Clayton will pick it up. Zinzio now chipping one ahead. Braves there again. Everybody in position defensively for Williamstown as it's kicked up high into the air and knocked away. And we'll see if the Braves change some things offensively now with a 2-goal lead.
What about Williamstown with Janowski and Demicali, as you see in offsides, they're getting their first goals of the year, and that's the kind of depth that Coach White wanted to talk about. You know, teams are going to be keying more and more on Duran Putman, so they're going to have to get goals from other sources, and certainly has to be a positive development for Williamstown.
It's got to be encouraging, too, because they know they're going to get the goals from the big guns. They know people like Putman are going to put the ball into the net, but you're right. We've seen, Mark, I don't know how many times we've seen championship games where someone who doesn't score much all year gets the big goal in the game, and that's what you're going to need. Kick back out now as the Braves just head it back in. You can see the size difference here for Williamstown. It's making a difference once again. Now they battle for it, and the Braves will settle it down as Muniz will work it up ahead. Unable to get to it as Powell, and it's sent back to center. Into the Williamstown zone it goes now. Clippers just cannot get anything going with the Braves now keeping majority of their players back on the attack by Clayton, and now Evan Small will send it up ahead. As this pass deflected, and now the Clippers will try once again. It's chipping in along the near side, but the Braves give chase, and it will knock it away as Scott Beatty.
Again, there's no reason for Williamstown to go in the defensive shell right now. If you keep putting pressure on a team, you'll keep your aggressiveness up. And obviously a third goal would definitely put this thing away.
Already a tall order for this Clayton squad going against this Williamstown team down 2-0. And the Braves certainly have been in control in this second half. Kicked up ahead, blocked. Clippers finally get it back. It's chipped up ahead. Zinzio trying to work it in, but he has his pass knocked away. And Pierce will take it for Williamstown. Pierce sends one up ahead. Demicali, who's had the big day, goal and assist, will take it in again along the near side. Demicali looking for help. Back over it goes to Pierce. Braves looking to set up here offensively. Now it's sent towards the middle. Knocked away. Braves keeping it in, but it will not roll out of bounds as Beatty does a nice job to keep it in. Beatty sends one high into the air. Now Powell will go after it. Powell giving chase along with Delaney. Delaney able to punch it out now for Clayton. And now the Clippers will look to break out along the far side. Now the Clippers looking to break ahead now. The Braves leading 2-0 and sending it up ahead. And coming out is the goalkeeper, Reverso, and he kicks it away, and it's deflected. It will go out of bounds, and Clayton will keep possession.
Great hustle that time by Scott Beatty. He was the one that brought the play all the way down the other end, and he was all the way back there when Reverso kicked it out.
Hey, let's get this out, Braves.
There's the throw into the near side. It's loose momentarily, and now comes near the circle, and the Braves just calmly kick it out of the way. Now Williamstown will work it up as Muniz now will charge ahead to the far side. Muniz with a little bit of room, stops, sets, looks for help. He's double teamed. Now he's covered just by one man, Delaney, but he'll chip it ahead.
That's a great pass that time.
And a good job defensively by the Clippers to cover it, but now DeMcCallie going after it again. It goes out of bounds. It will still be Williamstown ball. The Braves not letting up with a 2-0 lead as they look to set up again offensively. It'll be Putman to do the throw-in honors now for Williamstown. High throw towards Muniz, but out of the goal again comes Tony Falcone, and he will make the save and hang on. Just about past the halfway point now of the second half with Williamstown leading 2-0. Pierce looking for help. Pierce got a bunch of players with him. He's going to drop it for DeMcCallie. Now takes a shot on net, but that one goes high over the goal and out of bounds.
At that time, Clayton just stopped following him. That could have been a dangerous situation. Even though he was shielding him off from the ball, you always stay with the guy you're with. They just let him go, and could have been a dangerous situation. I think one of the differences is Clayton defenders, when they're getting the ball, they're clearing it out, just kicking it out. When Williamstown defenders are getting the ball, they're trying to pass it to people. And again, a lot of that comes from Williamstown with a veteran defense.
All right, John, all right.
A little more savvy. See, there's Cooper. He's not just kicking it. See, even though that was an errant pass, he was looking that time for small.
Now looking to work it ahead is Jason Patton. He lost the ball, and it's taken away by Pierce, who's quietly had another strong game for Williamstown. That one rolls out of bounds right along the feet of Marc Narducci, who no doubt just had a playing flashback from his days at Paul VI High School.
Yeah, from about 100 years ago when I was there.
Not that far away now, was it? Marc, I don't know how many goals you scored, but just take that total. That's how many more goals you scored than I did in my soccer career. Coming up ahead now for Williamstown as the Braves trying to work it out.
Put it this way, Ed, you wouldn't need a calculator to add mine up, I'll tell you that.
Not for me either, though, that's for sure. Up ahead it goes now as the Braves look to sell it in. DeMcCallie setting one up ahead along the far side, and the Clippers trying to get it out. Muniz right there again. He has been a force in the second half for the Clippers, able to get it away.
And I always told people I was a defensive midfielder, even though I really wasn't, but that was just a nice euphemism for someone that couldn't score.
I had a great euphemism for my position for high school sports. Newspaper reporter. I think that's the best place for me to be. As the ball goes along the far side, and the Braves will get another throw in. So Williamstown up 2-0. Ed Benkin here with Marc Narducci at Williamstown, actually Williamstown Middle School, although the high school overlooks us to our right, the facilities where Williamstown plays their sports.
I think Williamstown has really gotten away a little, even though they're up 2-0, gotten away a little bit from knocking the ball around the way they were in the first half, Ed, and spreading the field and everything. Here we see a little attempt at that right now, but I don't know if that's fatigue or just the fact they're up 2-0 and they're just trying to go to goal, but I thought they actually had a crisper attack in the first half.
Ball is loose as Beatty slipped trying to get it ahead, and the Clippers will send it up ahead. Now giving chase for Clayton is DeZinzio, but he's unable to pick it up. And now comes back into the Clayton zone. So the Clippers starting to run out of time a little bit. Again, we're about almost 25 minutes through into the second half, and Williamstown leading 2-0. It's kicked up high into the air. Ball comes loose. Braves trying to pick it up. The Clippers will just chip it up ahead once again. DeZinzio, one of the few players size-wise who could match up with the Braves, unable to get to it, is Dan Reverso, who again was shaken up a bit in that first half, comes out to make the play.
And we talked about they have to play Shalleck, Clayton, that is, on Monday. And the matchup with Shalleck is going to be difficult because Shalleck probably has a little bit better ball skills overall than Williamstown and better overall team speed. Williamstown, I think, is a little more physical, maybe a little more tougher team. So again, it's going to be a very, very difficult matchup for Clayton. But I'll tell you what, Ed, a couple of years ago, if you had Clayton playing a top 10 team, I mean, it would have been 15-0. I mean, the way this program has progressed and the job Coach Antonelli has done, you just can't say enough about it.
Absolutely, and that's why this team will most likely be playing in the Group 1 playoffs, and after they get through the Williamstowns and Shallecks, so they can win some of the other games that they're matched up with in the division, they have a chance to get a decent seed, maybe even a home game if things work out.
Again, they have a tough. We talked about today Williamstown Shalleck. Then they play Gloucester Catholic. Again, a tough game, certainly a winnable game from Clayton's perspective. But you're right. I definitely think that they'll be in the playoffs again.
Eunice again centering towards the net. Headed on nicely, but an easy save made by Falcone off the chest of Marco Muzupapu, who gets his first action of the afternoon. And Marc, we mentioned that Tri-County Classic. One other team in our viewing area, Glassboro, they've been another nice surprise. It seems like Mark Bridges likes to build programs over at that school.
Yes, they've done a nice job. In fact, I thought Clayton beating Glassboro this year by a 2-1 score is one of Clayton's better wins, because Glassboro had just 3 wins last year, Ed, already with 5 this year, and I think they opened some eyes the other night, beating Pittman 4-1.
They've had a long playoff drought, and that might be about to end if they can hold on the next few weeks.
No question. I think they're a serious contender for that.
So now they will get set once again as Clayton will look to kick it out of the zone. 2-0 Williamstown leading. We're about 27 minutes or so gone by in this second half.
I think when you talk about Group 1, we talked about it earlier, Shalleck is certainly going to be a serious contender. And Haddon Heights is a team that I don't know if they've caught teams by surprise, but they've really lost a lot from last year. They're coming down from Group 2, but they tied Haddonfield the other day, and I think Coach Eppright has served notice that the Garnets are going to be a tough team to beat in Group 1.
And that would be a very intriguing matchup if they were to meet somehow in the postseason, but still a few weeks away from that playoff cutoff. But one thing, talking to Coach Harry White, we were almost laughing, is you realize, you say it's 3 weeks away, but it's coming up faster than you think as we get a shot that goes wide. And then, again, teams start to realize that when you get to the end of September, your margin of error starts to shrink a little bit.
Right, and the reason why, Ed, is because the season's open earlier than ever. I mean, Clayton opened its season on the 7th of September this year against Clearview.
Everybody talking about how football opened so fast this year, but most of the soccer teams, a lot of soccer teams in the area got started either that same weekend or a couple of days later.
By the way, that you cannot understate how big that win over Clearview was by Williamstown. That 4-2 win, it was on a soggy day that they played, but that is an excellent Clearview team. In fact, I think a Clearview team that actually might be the favorite next year because they have a lot of good underclassmen. And that was an outstanding win for Williamstown.
And, of course, another Group 3 team, Williamstown and Clearview, could certainly meet in the postseason as well as the ball comes loose to center. And Minos will carry it up for Williamstown, send it up for Powell, giving chase along the far side. Powell and Kaczynski, a pair of number 3s, both going after this one, and Powell will take it first. Powell trying to get through. Kaczynski knocks it away, and the Braves will get a corner kick coming up. Don't forget, coming up this week on October 6th, it's the Woodbury Fall Festival Parade Live. A tradition continues only on Channel 43 as the folks of Woodbury give you a taste of fall coming up in early October. Mark, we can taste it if you go down Route 45 and you go around the area, how just that hint of leaf starting to change color a little bit. It's that time of year. Up in the air it goes. Knocked loose temporarily. Powell tries to get it for the Braves. Takes a shot. That one is blocked away. And if it goes out of bounds, I believe this will be another corner kick coming up for Williamstown.
Again, Kaczynski doing a nice job blocking it that time. Yeah, Ed, I'm already out with my winter jacket.
Yeah, it is that time of year once again, as we mentioned, and it's just you could just get that sense as a high school sports fan as the weather gets a little cooler, the game starts to become more important, and you don't get that real chill in the air when it's championship time, but just the feeling that the games are starting to get a bit more meaningful. That's headed up in the air. Nice job by the Clippers to head it out of the zone. And Baganski will send it up to center. That was a well-positioned Clayton defense on that attempt by Williamstown. Ball goes out of bounds once again, and now Clayton will take over.
Cooper made a really nice pass that time to Small, just a little bit too far, but Cooper's been on the money with a lot of his passes here today.
Unofficially, just about 30 minutes into the second half, the Braves with a goal in the first half from Rich Janowski, a goal in the second half from Delmar Demicali, lead Clayton by a score of 2-0. Now Cooper fighting for it for Williamstown does a nice job to battle it away from 2 Clippers to get the ball. Cooper just very calmly getting it back to Putnam. Once again, this is the senior cool, you could say, of Williamstown. This is a very composed team in their own zone. Now it's worked up along the far side to Mellish.
That is really, they're working the ball well on this little sequence here. This is good. This is good for Williamstown.
And it goes back into the zone here, and We mentioned great coaching jobs. Dan Antonelli's done one. Harry White's done another one, certainly, for Williamstown.
Yes, he has.
Now it cuts back towards the center of the field, and the Braves just taking their time once again as Janowski will send it forward. Janowski tried to get it to Muniz, and a good play defensively by the Clippers to knock it away. Muniz for a second looked like he was going to go in and get a chance, but the Clippers able to knock it away.
That was a great defensive play by Verrecchio, who's really played his heart out today. We said he's been a little bit banged up, but he's been all over the field. He's shown great breakdown skills, too, beating that first defender. Plus, he's had to take goal kicks. He's had to take the corners.
We get a whistle now as substitutions coming in. Marc, at the start of the season, Cherry Hill East was the #1 team coming into South Jersey. They're still at the top of the rankings, but again, it's going to be wide open, I think, till that final game.
Well, Cherry Hill East has not really played a tough schedule. In fact, there were some warning signs when East barely beat Kingsway 1-0. You know, people said, wait a minute, what's going on here? But East's meat of the schedule's coming up. They take on Eastern coming up next week, and they'll be tested, no question. But right now, they're #1. I saw Shawnee last week and was really impressed with them. But again, teams are staying with them. You know, Camden Catholic only lost 1-0 in overtime to them. Eastern lost 3-2 in overtime. So, of course, they lost the game to Washington Township 2-1. So they've shown that they're not unbeatable, but they're very deep and very strong.
Putman is knocked down. Nothing called as is kicked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in coming up here from Williamstown as Putman took a look up and looked for the call.
Well, he would have been justified to getting a call that time. He was knocked off the ball pretty well.
So the Braves looking to pick up win #7 on the season. And again, in case you're unfamiliar with the playoff format, it goes by winning record. So these teams, if they continue to win, despite their rankings, could certainly see a home game or two, particularly Williamstown, as the ball's headed in and grabbed by the goalkeeper Falcone.
The other thing is, from a Clayton perspective, you think the Clippers are going to stay in just about any game, because when you're as strong in goal as they are with Falcone,
it makes them a dangerous team when you have a goalkeeper like Falcone. And as we've seen today, he certainly has the vertical leap to keep his team in the game as well.
I think Williamstown could have, easily had 5 goals here today. And Falcone has had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, Harry White is very impressed with how Dan Antonelli has kept this program where it has and kept them at a level of competitiveness and I guess you could say contention when you come in with a record of 8-1 to a game.
Well, put it in perspective. Shawnee gets more people out for probably its freshman soccer program than Clayton has in its senior class total. So, I mean, you're talking numbers. Clayton's one of the smallest schools around.
Janowski will look to throw it in for the Braves. Williamstown is playing it very safe here over these past 10, 15 minutes or so. They are trying to get a couple of chances, but not making the dangerous pass right there, just making the safe play in the zone, working some clock a little bit with the 2-0 lead.
I like how they work small, use small as a little target, and then have him distribute.
It's chipped up ahead and racing after it is Verrecchio for Clayton. Taken away by Demicali. Demicali trying to work it in front. He and Verrecchio battling for it, and Verrecchio does a nice job to take it away as it rolls to the far side.
It's a great defensive play by Verrecchio that time.
Verrecchio able to work it up ahead to Delaney.
Ed, how many times has Verrecchio beat at least a man dribbling the ball?
Several, that's for sure. He just added to that total just there. And now we get a whistle. We have a player shaking up down on the field. Looks like one of the Braves as we get a whistle. So while we have this timeout, we will step aside and take a break. On the Proby Chiropractic scoreboard, it's Williamstown 2, Clayton 0. Back after this. Welcome back to Williamstown. Ed Benkin here with Marc Narducci. Williamstown leading Clayton 2-0. Unofficially, just about 5.5 minutes to go in the second half. The injured player for Williamstown was Mike Muniz, who's had a strong game today, was able to walk off on his own power. Will probably rest for the rest of the day. As now the Braves looking to wind this one down and up the record to 7-1. Williamstown will kick it off as Marc, as you mentioned, if Clayton, as it looks like, will go on to lose this game, this is going to be a very respectable loss, certainly, for the Clippers.
Well, you know what, though? I know Dan Antonelli, and he's not thinking that, Ed. I know what you're saying, and a lot of people will look at that and say, that's pretty good. he went in here to win this game today. And that's the mindset he has brought to not only the soccer program, but the wrestling program, where he's done a good job. So a lot of people like you and me and other people say, it's a respectable loss. He's not going to look at it that way. He's going to say, we came here to win this game. We have another player down. It's Putman.
Yeah, not sure what happened with Putman. We saw the collision over on the other side of the field, but we'll try to get a look and see what happened with him. And Mark, while he's shaking up again here, we talked about this Tri-County Royal Division, and we see the Delseys and the Williamstowns and the Clearviews. These are teams that are going to be in the mix throughout the season, but they have to be careful because there's enough teams that, on paper, probably won't beat them, but can certainly cause enough of a problem to mess things up this year.
Yeah, what's good about the Tri-Co Royal, Ed, is the fact that, and the Classic, they only play each other once. So their division games, you really got the intensity, and they really can go at each other. And you're right, you never know. Like, Williamstown beat Pensgrove 1-0. It's a game you think, hey, they're going to blow them out. You're right, there's that kind of depth in the Royal Division, and it's really, really makes everything so interesting.
And as we mentioned, Williamstown will still face Kingsway, they'll still face Delsey, and they'll still face Deptford. All eyes certainly on the Delsey game coming up in a couple of weeks.
And you're right, and teams like Kingsway, who early in the year having real trouble scoring, I think in another week or so, this young team, they're going to hit their stride, as you see Putman getting up right now.
Hey, you ask Harry White, you say, boy, is everyone looking forward to that Delsey game? And in a polite way, he almost kind of looked at me like, are you kidding? We got to worry about Kingsway and Deptford too, and that's the right approach, certainly, for the contenders in this division.
This has been a difficult year for Deptford. Again, Coach Wink lost a ton of guys to graduation. It's a Deptford team that this Clayton team beat 1-0 earlier this season. But again, you're right, Ed. No one's going into Deptford thinking that's an automatic W.
So one of our young fans here watching. Well, Putman able to get off on his own power, and looks like he appears to be okay. So now the seconds wind down. Now the Clippers getting one towards the net, but Dan Reverso is there to make the save. This is a man who had 10 shutouts last season, and it certainly looks strong again this afternoon.
By the way, Ed, for the viewers that saw me in my winter jacket, and you're just there in a suit jacket, I guess they have to know I'm a wimp when it comes to the cold.
Oh, now I wouldn't say that, Mark. I know you had the 10 cups of hot chocolate from the concession stand waiting to go. Other than that, no, not at all. Up across it goes. It's now. We have fun when we do this, folks. It's chipped up to the far side of the field. Mark and I have worked together for a very long time. We certainly enjoy watching these great athletes week in and week out. And
yeah, the biggest surprise is they continue to let us work together.
Yeah, they haven't put the plastic across just yet. Just in case this is our last broadcast today, we'd like to thank everybody for being involved. Far side it goes now as the Clippers look to get it out. Williamstown leading 2-0, closing minutes here in the second half, as the Clippers really have not been able to get anything going offensively here in the second half, and that's no fault of their own as much as the fact the Braves are putting on a clinic in their own zone.
Ed, one last story about our less than storied broadcasting careers. Every time I see you, I think of that, what was it, the Edgewood, Washington Township baseball game that we did? It was like 20-9 or something. And
Mark went from his summer gear to his winter gear by the 7th inning.
And that was in May, and I had my winter jacket on.
It was one of those unseasonably warm early May. I think it was actually April, one of those baseball days. But I'll tell you what, Mark came prepared. If Mark ever has to go on an expedition up into the mountains, he'll be so prepared because he brings the all-weather gear wherever he goes.
Well, guess what? I won't be going on any expeditions to the mountains. But anyway, enough about that.
Anyway, as the Clippers send it up ahead, again, Williamstown leading 2-0. And we get a whistle. We've seen one yellow card today and a couple of hard fouls, but things have settled down a little bit here in these closing moments.
I said before, Ed, I think this has been a well-officiated game. They've let them play. They didn't let it get out of hand. I think they've done a nice job today.
Clippers kick it up ahead, and there's Janoski, who had the first goal for Williamstown, able to knock it away once again, but now he slips. Clippers trying to keep it in bounds. It rolls out of bounds. And over to get it is Mike Green. Clayton will get a throw in, and now it'll be handed off to Andrew. Andrew now trying to get it back to Green, but the Braves in position again, able to knock it away. And now sends it up along to Andrew, who chips it back into the corner again. Out of bounds it goes. Clayton will throw it in. And there again, the good friends at the Deptford Soccer Post, waving their banner proudly this afternoon. One of our fine sponsors here. One of the best places to go, and certainly some big soccer fans at the Deptford Soccer Post of all the sports teams in South Jersey. May have a little bias towards Deptford. That's okay. You're entitled.
And one other thing that we have to mention is as we're getting closer to the season, I mean, I think Williamstown is definitely going to get a bid to the South Jersey Coaches Tournament. I mean, unless there's, they just struggle mightily in the next 2 weeks or so. I mean, and I think there's a possibility that Delsey can get into the coaches tournament. I mean, I think you're going to see a couple Trico Royal teams in there, which is good for this conference.
Yeah, there's no question as we get a whistle that the Olympic Conference has traditionally been the strongest, but the Tri-County certainly having one of its better years. You look at teams in both divisions. We talked about Williamstown here, Delsey, Clearview, obviously Shalleck, and then you have teams like Glassboro and Clayton who aren't going to the coaches tournament, but certainly have improved, and certainly have made teams like Williamstown work for games like this today.
Well, there's no question Shalleck will be going. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. Williamstown, I mean, you might be looking at Delsey, you might be looking at Clearview, and depending how Cumberland plays. But I mean, just the fact that you're considering this many from the Trico, I think it's a really good indication of the caliber of play here.
Final minute, unofficially winding down here. Of course, there'll be a little injury time, but definitely in the closing moments here as Williamstown will continue with their winning ways. Clayton, with a loss today, will fall to 8-2, and the Clippers will get ready for Shalleck coming up on Monday as the ball goes into the far side now where Powell will pick it up. Powell still in control, still has it, looking for a little help. Will send it back. There's a shot by Behrman that's blocked. Braves in no hurry here as Delaney now will send it back outside for Clayton. Now it's kicked up ahead. Nice play by Mellish once again to keep it in. He's had a strong game as well for Williamstown as the ball rolls out of bounds.
The whole back line has Beatty, Mellish. We talked about Cooper, Olson. I mean, you could see why this team is working on its fifth shutout.
Now holding on to it is Small. Kicked into the far side. It goes out of bounds. The Braves defense was given a nickname, I believe, for themselves, which called the Blue Plague. And it's effective today as the final seconds have ticked away and this game is over. So the Williamstown Braves come up with a 2-0 victory over the Clayton Clippers. And Williamstown, the number 9 team in South Jersey, continues to roll along as they pick up the 2-0 victory. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our star of the game, the final on the Pro B Chiropractic scoreboard, Williamstown 2, Clayton 0. You're watching high school soccer on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Ed Benkin and Marc Narducci back here at Williamstown. The final score, the Williamstown Braves defeating the Clayton Clippers by a score of 2-0. We have our star of the game and our coach of the game for the Williamstown Braves. We're joined first by head coach Harry White. Coach, a 2-0 win. Get 2 goals from 2 guys who haven't scored all year, but I guess when you're having a season like you do have, eventually you're going to need some other players who haven't scored to put the ball in the net.
Right, we have a full squad of players that when they come off the bench, they just step in and fill in nicely. I was talking to Dell and Richie before the game. I said, you guys are due. And they stepped up and put a couple balls in the net. That's what we need.
A lot of people talked about how much improved Clayton was. People are going to look and see a 2-0 win for you guys. But can you attest certainly that this is a better team you played than the last Clayton team?
Oh, my hat's off to this Clayton team. The coach does a real nice job. Their goalkeeper kept them in the game. Their defense was strong. They won a lot of 50-50 balls, which we're not used to. And they put a lot of pressure on the ball, which really is a credit to their program.
You've had some big wins already this year, Clearview, and of course the big win, a neighborhood rivalry, so to speak, over Washington Township. What do wins like that do, especially the Township game, for your confidence when you know you can play a team that's in the top 20 each year?
You hit it right on the nail. Confidence. The kids get a little bit more sure of their passes, a little more confidence to make the ball work, and they just go out and play their game, and you can see it day in and day out.
One last thought. Again, everyone talks about you have Delsey in a couple weeks, but in this conference, is it very easy not to look ahead with some of the competition you have?
We just take one game at a time. We don't look that far in advance, and we just try and take care of the game that we have ahead of us, and that's Gloucester Catholic, and they're playing tough.
Coach, congratulations on a big win. Hopefully you'll keep it up.
And thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Let's go over to Marc Narducci now as our player of the game.
Delmar D. McCallie, and Delmar, first of all, congratulations. First goal of the season. How did you feel?
It felt good just getting on the board, scoring my first goal of the year.
Tell me about it. It was a funny-looking goal. It looked like everyone kind of stopped.
Yeah, I just squared up and headed and then just watched and then slowly went in. And I don't know.
Hey, tell me, you guys had a lot of good scoring opportunities. Talk about Falcone, their goalie. He really
He played us tough, and he kept us to a minimum. And he stopped a lot of shots.
Hey, you're a little banged up there. What's up? Well, give us a little injury status there.
I got a bruised toe. It happened before the game, and I just taped it up and played. So hopefully it'll get better. I need to get looked at.
Delmar, one more thing I wanted to ask you. This is a Williamstown team. You're ranked in the top 10 now. People are coming after you. But what's it like being on a team like this? You're getting some attention now. And what's it like, a veteran team?
It feels good. We're getting recognized finally, and it's my last year, and just getting ready for college.
Well, congratulations. Your last year, your first goal, and I'm sure we'll see more goals this season. Delmar DiMicali, one of the goal scorers here today, Ed, and a very impressive Williamstown team. We talked about how they were physical team, but also had finesse. They have a lot of strength, they have a lot of experience, and this is a very balanced team. We saw that today.
And another big win for Williamstown. And Marc, as we mentioned before, another game, this one Clayton didn't win, and the coach will say he came to win, but still, we saw today why Williamstown is a top 10 team, Clayton has certainly improved as well.
Absolutely, and this is a Clayton team that I think is going to be going to the Group 1 playoffs for the third straight year, Ed, and that is no small feat for this program. And they showed a lot of heart, just down 1-0 at half. And Falcone, you know, he's as good a goalie as I've seen at this point in South Jersey. Now, obviously, I haven't seen every team, but he did as good a job today as I've seen this year.
And meanwhile, the Williamstown Braves keep on rolling. They win by a score of 2-0, and they will most likely remain in the top 10 by week's end. I'd like to thank our entire crew, including our director, Stan Ritter, for an outstanding job this afternoon. For my partner, Marc Narducci, this is Ed Benkin saying so long from Williamstown.